Now, how can we tell that these are anchor stones?
We'll see here shortly. Some have the holes drilled in them that you can see. Now this one here, it has a nice large one in the center for Noah. The left bottom here would represent Mrs. Noah. Then there's 3 smaller crosses representing the 3 sons. And then 3 very small crosses representing the wives of the sons. Now this is a very large anchor stone. An author said that there's 4 feet of this underground. So if you combine it with 7 feet above ground, then you're talking about 11 feet, the length of this anchor stone. You see the nice hole drilled in the top of it where a rope would be pulled, and that would then be attached to the what I believe is the front of the ark.
As we have on the model here.
Yes,
now,
as we saw on the model.
where do we get this idea that they were on the front of the ark? Where does this come from?
If you look on Wikipedia as one source, under sea anchor, you'll see that they are attached to the front of a boat, and it causes, when the waves come, it causes the rear to come in line perpendicular to the waves. It causes the rear to line up and causes this, the front, to be facing the oncoming waves. Even wind will do that. Wind will blow this around, and so the front's right into the wind, and it did that also with the waves. So this is a perfect design that God came up with. Now here's myself standing beside the large anchor stone. And here's a close-up. We can see Mount Ararat in the distance, and we can see that these holes are drilled out from opposite sides, and then the rope pulled through, a knot tied, and then the rope would be brought up to the front of the ark. Now over in the Mediterranean, of course, there are some sea anchors used there, but look how small they are. They're smaller because you were talking about smaller boats. So this is at Caesarea there along the Mediterranean, and you can see several different types of the sea anchors along the Mediterranean. Here's an anchor stone here with no carvings on it, but it's lying flat, and you can see the hole that's been drilled through it where the rope would have been pulled through. But in this one you can see an ornate anchor stone. Now these have been found to the east and to the west of Arzeb on opposite outlying areas. This is a Byzantine style cross anchor stone, which would date back to the 3rd century. Very ornate, very ancient style.
So they have these stones all over the place, and are we assuming that all of them belong to one ship, the Noah's Ark?
I would assume so, since the size of them.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no, the bodies of water nearest this are 75 miles away, you know, 2 different directions. So there's no local large body of water.
There's another clue that this must be it.
Yes, yes. So the ark was floating through this area, if you can imagine, you know, 4,000 feet of water above this, and they decided to cut these anchor stones off. They fell down to the bottom, to this area here, and then the ark floated over to the current mountain where it is today.
Right.
And kind of came to rest in that spot.